Mr. Brandon Sports, everybody. Hope you have an amazing day. I'm here to give you guys my Monday Night Raw review for March 23rd, 2026. Before we get into the review, guys, please hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more great content headed your way, share with your friends and family so we help the channel continue to grow. Now, before we get into the review, guys, my overall thoughts about this show is that it wasn't good to me at all. And I'm going to explain to you why, but first, I'm going to talk about the WrestleMania card that's coming up. WrestleMania 42 is 26 days away. There are 6 confirmed matches. It is rumored that there are going to be 14 matches across both nights, which means that it's going to be 7 and 7. Which means right now there are 6 matches on WrestleMania so far. CM Punk and Roman Reigns, Stephanie Valkyria versus Liv Morgan, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley, Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar, and AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. Out of all of these matches, I'm basically excited to see 2 of them. And it's Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar, see the direction they go with Oba Femi, even though I don't like what they did tonight with Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar, and there are reasons for that, so just hang on. And I'm excited about Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. That's it. The rest of these matches I care less about. You guys know, in my Elimination Chamber review, when it came to Becky Lynch and AJ Lee, I said I did not want to see this at WrestleMania. It could have been way better matches to be booked on WrestleMania. But this company, I tell you guys every single week, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to book. They don't know what they're doing. Because they are being very, very lazy. Nobody wants to see AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. Nobody. Stephanie Valkyria versus Liv Morgan has turned into a cat fight. From humble beginnings to now, they're doing cat fights on TV, and she's basically screaming in the back. Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley, you guys know I defend Jade Cargill. I told you guys that Rhea Ripley needed this match to give Jade Cargill a great match to have. So far, this feud has no interest in me. The only thing I like is the fact that B-Fab is now with Jade Cargill. Because you guys know, if you guys watch, I know I'm supposed to be unbiased, but I really like B-Fab. The way that she talks, the way that she presents herself, I want her to have more opportunities in the company. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, they've absolutely killed this entire feud for me. I don't care about this match. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, I don't care about it. I don't care. They've completely ruined this entire thing for me, and I'm going to tell you why I thought this. Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes are the 2 matches I'm interested in. The other 4 matches, I just truly do not care about it at all. And this is not, oh, you don't like the company. No, I love WWE. I love professional wrestling. I want this to be great. I want this to be absolutely one of the greatest WrestleManias we've ever seen. I want it for the company. I want it for wrestling fans like myself who love this business. And I want it for Triple H too. I want wrestling to be the best thing on this planet no matter what you say. I love professional wrestling. I cover football on this channel. I cover NBA. More NBA is coming up. But wrestling is what I truly, truly love watching and covering. And it's not my fault that this company doesn't know how to book stories to get somebody interested in WrestleMania. Tonight's Monday Night Raw is another shining example of that. There's so much hypocrisy going on this show, it's ridiculous. And just a lot of foolishness going on. I lied to you guys not. I want these shows to be great, so I'll come on here and give you guys an even better review. Because you guys are going to feel good about the show, especially if you guys are watching my reviews. I tell you guys, my reviews are better than these shows. And I'm keeping it 100 with everybody. This show tonight, yes, there's storylines advanced, but some of it just doesn't make sense, which we'll get to. But other than that, this show, again, was not great. And there are many factors as to why. WrestleMania season has been a dud so far. On paper, WrestleMania is going to look great. But storyline-wise, it's going to look absolutely terrible. And it's going to look horrible. So the matches can be great all it wants to be. But right now, the stories going into these matches are absolutely garbage. Except for Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. And Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar, we'll get into that in a few. This WrestleMania build has been absolutely boring. I told you guys I don't sugarcoat anything during my reviews. I truly don't. I'm being 1000% honest with you guys. So we're going to get into the show tonight. Tonight's show was, Monday Night Raw was live from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. The show tonight, and I'm going to read this to you guys so you guys have a true understanding on what this show looked like. You had Penta versus Dominik Mysterio for the IC title. There was one reason why I was looking forward to this match, and it didn't happen, and it made me upset all over again. They're completely dropping the ball with this storyline, too, as well. I'm going to get into it. We had Grayson Waller versus Javon Evans. I like Javon Evans. You guys know. If you guys watch my reviews, you guys know I like Javon Evans. I don't care to see him in the ring with Grayson Waller. I don't. We had Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus the Kabuki Warriors. I'm not lying to you guys. I didn't want to see this match at all. I don't care for it. Then we saw a non-title match. Says non-title match. For the WWE World Tag Team Championships. The Usos versus Division, Austin Theory, and the Maverick Logan Paul. I didn't care to see this anyway because I told you guys that Austin Theory is never going to get over the way that they're booking him. And so far, he is not getting over. He is not getting crowd participation, nothing. He's absolutely getting nothing. Becky Lynch will address her attack on Intercontinental Champion AJ Lee. I told you guys from Jump Street, from the Ladies Champion match, I did not want to see this match take place again at WrestleMania. I did not want to see Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee at WrestleMania. They could have went in a different direction, but because they don't know how to book anything, we're getting this for the third or fourth time. This is ridiculous. And the fact that people are not calling this out because they're in love with the match is it's so frustrating. I'm telling you guys the truth. I'm not lying to you guys. The Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar reacts to the Oba Femi's answering his challenge. And then we had the World Heavyweight Champion, the Best in the World, CM Punk, and the OTC will return on Raw. That was the lineup for this Monday's Raw. All of this was a non-factor for me except for Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi tonight. Everything else, coming off of last week of what CM Punk did with Roman Reigns, I cared nothing about their segment. And I told you guys they had to make it back up. And did they do it? No, they did not. It was cringeworthy. I'm going to explain to you when we get to it. So tonight's show opens up with Dirty Dominik Mysterio shown entering the building alongside Liv Morgan and the rest of the Judgment Day. It's only JD McDonough and Raquel Rodriguez. That's it. They were on the elevator. They came out the elevator. Still no pyro to start these shows. Still the same whack-ass people walking in every single week. Then we see Bayley and Lyra Valkyria are shown talking. They will face the Kabuki Warriors tonight, which is a match I don't care to see. And a lot of people want to get these women on WrestleMania. They want all these women to be on WrestleMania. Why? Why? This is why I love WrestleMania being on one night. Not everybody deserves to be on the card. This is why they got rid of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on WrestleMania. Because not everybody needs to be on WrestleMania. You earn your spot. What happened to earning something? I'm just really, really frustrated and annoyed by the booking of this company. I really am. The Usos are shown arriving to the arena. We've seen Javon Evans is shown into the building. He will face Grayson, as I said. And then he greets IShowSpeed, which I didn't care about this at all. He wasn't getting speared again, so I didn't really care about IShowSpeed being on Monday Night Raw. Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas is basically being shown on the TV. Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Michael Cole, Corey Graves say they welcome us to the show, and we get a video package looking back at the start of Monday Night Raw last week. Brock Lesnar's music hits, and it starts the show. He bounced on the stage, he boom, the pyro hits, he makes his way down to the ring with Paul Heyman. Brock says something to Paul Heyman, whispers in his ear before he gets ready to cut a promo. Paul starts to introduce Brock Lesnar. Paul says that he does not like the Oba chants in the crowd before he got into his promo, which, whatever. He's a heel, he's going to do that. Then Paul then says, you're pissing off Brock Lesnar. Paul then says, the reason you are pissing him off is because of what happened last week. Paul then says, Brock laid waste to 5, 10, 15, 20 masked men all over ringside area. Paul then says he got distracted by Seth Rollins. Paul then says that is when a man so overhyped by WWE invoked the gag reflex and comes down and takes advantage of the fact that Brock Lesnar was in 20 fights and distracted by Seth Rollins. Paul then says he's talking about Oba Femi. Paul then says the saddest part of it all is that how many times have we heard the same narrative coming out of WWE hype? Basically, the hype machine. Paul then says when Brock Lesnar conquered the Undertaker streak, which the crowd heavily booed that because they still upset about it, which I am too. I'm the Undertaker's number one guy. I love the Undertaker, and I absolutely hated that. To this day, I still can't go back and watch it. That's how much I despise that booking decision by Vince McMahon. I still cannot watch. This WWE The Vault, they posted the story leading up to that. I still can't watch none of it. I can't watch any of it. That's how bad that was. For me personally. But anyway, so he conquered Undertaker streak. Did he get revenge? Paul then says no, even though Undertaker came back and cost him WWE Championship at, Payback or something like that. And he basically low blow Brock Lesnar. He cost the championship against Seth Rollins. Did he beat him at SummerSlam? After that, Brock Lesnar finally got his last revenge when he beat him in Hell in a Cell. But Undertaker did get his revenge. He cost Brock Lesnar WWE Championship. But whatever. Paul then says no. Paul then says he came all the people who were supposed to be the ones to beat the 21-1. Paul says it wasn't Goldberg, Braun Strowman, Dean Ambrose, Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, or John Cena, and the crowd is just booing when he mentioned John Cena. Paul then says it won't be Oba Femi who got the WrestleMania moment by putting a foot on Lesnar's chest and pointing to the sign. Paul then says that was his WrestleMania moment when he did that. Paul then says Oba Femi will be victimized and conquered by Brock Lesnar. The lights go out after that, and Oba Femi struts his way down to the ring. Oba then enters the ring, and both men are closer and closer in the ring. They're getting in the center of the ring, Brock then goes for an F5. He kicks him, low blows him, hits the guy, tries to pick him up for the F5, but Oba escapes and clotheslines Brock Lesnar over the top rope. Brock is then stunned at ringside, as is Paul Heyman. Paul then pleads with Brock to walk it off and go to the back. Brock then shouts that Oba isn't that lucky. This ain't over, boy. And by the way, people trying to make a whole big thing when he called Oba Femi boy. Brock Lesnar says that to everybody, so please stop that. Brock then smiles as he backs up to the ramp, and Oba Femi poses in the ring. This was a nice standoff for me, in my opinion, but here's the problem with this standoff. You're letting Oba Femi get too much offense in on Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar needs to lay him out. Now, if you guys want to know my true thoughts about it, I said it on my SmackDown review that I liked this last week. However, when I watched Coaching Bro with Jonathan Coachman and Vince Russo said as a writer, so he, if you guys don't know, Vince Russo was the booker and the head writer of the Attitude Era, great Attitude Era. He did a lot of great stuff. He said the problem with this, and I agree with him, was you're letting the baby face get to the heel instead of letting the heel basically go after the babyface all this time, and then once we get to WrestleMania, the babyface is basically the victor. Now, did I still like when he did the fall from grace? Yes. Do I like Oba Femi in his presence? Yes. However, them doing this is leading to people thinking that Brock Lesnar is going to win at WrestleMania, even though I don't think that's going to be the case. I believe that these next 3 weeks that Brock Lesnar's on TV, he needs to get Oba Femi. Needs to lay him out. He needs to leave him flat out. Because if he doesn't, and Oba Femi keeps getting the up on Brock Lesnar, at WrestleMania, it's not going to look good. It's not going to be good. They have to get Brock Lesnar some heat back on Oba Femi. Everybody's cheering his name. Everybody's chanting for him. It gets more heat on Brock Lesnar to hit him with an F5 and absolutely destroy him and have those guys do whatever the case may be. Whatever they can write up. Because I don't know what they can write up at this particular point. But for me, just a totally honest opinion. I like what they did last week, but if you look at it from a writing standpoint, the babyface is already getting his comeuppance against the heel. The heel needs to destroy the babyface so the babyface gets the last laugh to make the babyface look great. Especially if the babyface is going to go over. It's the same thing. I'm not comparing this storyline to Undertaker and Kane. I want you guys to go back. Remember when Kane came out and Tombstone Undertaker? Undertaker says he refused to hit his own brother. I know that's different, but hear me out. You had a babyface refusing to hit the heel. Why? Because the heel in Kane got more heat for beating up his brother every single week. You can do the same thing, even though it's not the same thing. I keep trying to tell you guys, relax. I'm not comparing the two. I'm saying if you look at the heel in Brock Lesnar, getting Oba Femi and not destroying him, but hitting him with an F5 and think that he's going to come, the new guy is going to surpass you would call him, Brock Lesnar, the OG or the veteran in the game. That doesn't happen until WrestleMania. So I get it from both sides. Did I like when Brock Lesnar got the fall from grace? Yes, I like the spot. It made Oba Femi look strong. However, when you're coming from a writing standpoint, which I agree with Vince Russo and Jonathan Coachman, because he said, even Jonathan Coachman said, hey, I didn't see it that way. So I get it from both sides. I'm not criticizing what happened tonight, but I can see from both sides where it's like, hey man, you're letting Oba Femi get a little bit too much. Brock Lesnar needs to go on a tear and get after this guy so at WrestleMania he gets the final comeuppance over Brock Lesnar. That's all. Did I have a problem with this opening segment? Not really. I would have liked more from Brock Lesnar in this segment instead of being clotheslined over the rope, and that's all we see from Brock Lesnar. Spoiler, that's all we saw from him tonight. After that Dominik Mysterio promo video is shown, Dominik says that the match shouldn't even be happening. Dominik then says it's all Finn Balor's fault that he lost the IC title. Dominik then says Baylor got what he deserved. Dominik then says now he can focus on Penta. Dominik then says he's the king of the luchadores. Corey Graves then hypes his rematch with Penta for the IC title later in tonight's show. After that, the World Tag Team Champions Jay and Jimmy Uso make their way down to the ring, and the Vision follows. We're going to get to the end of this. Logan Paul tries to get his brass knuckles out of his bag, but LA Knight's music hits, and he comes out from behind. He ambushes Logan Paul. He hits him against the steel steps, into the ring post and the steel steps. After that, LA Knight slides the brass knuckles into the ring so that Jay can grab them. Jay grabs them and hits and knocks out Austin Theory. After he knocks out Austin Theory, the referee sees it, and the bell is rung. They win by disqualification. It's Austin Theory and Logan Paul wins. After the match, an irate Jey Uso goes back in the ring and knocks Logan Paul out with the brass knuckles. We then see a look back at what happened with CM Punk Roman Reigns last week. So right now, Jey Uso is irate about basically CM Punk talking about his family. So now he's just being a hothead. If you guys don't remember the Bloodline storyline, Roman Reigns said to Jey Uso, "You are a hothead." And he's displaying him being a hothead here tonight. He is being a hothead. So, did I care about any of this? No, I did not. Why? Because I don't care about the vision. I don't care about Logan Paul. I told you guys Austin Theory is never going to get over the way that they're booking him. So they lose this match. After the match, LA Knight is like, hey man, he's looking at him. He's pointing to the brass knuckles. We go backstage. After that, we get, a vignette between CM Punk and Roman Reigns. But did I care about that? No, I didn't care anything about it. We take a look back at the battle between El Grande Americanos from last week. We then see Byron Saxton with the Los Americanos. Byron asks about what happened last week and how does El Grande Americano plan to end all of this. Rail then addresses the original Grande Americano and he says he stole Grande's mask. Bravo then mentions that he stole the sword. He then says he cannot steal the Mexican culture. This is just, I just can't believe that they continues to keep doing this. But anyway, he then says you cannot steal the hearts of the Mexican people. Grande then says he showed the world that you are nothing but a scam and a fraud. He then says there's only one Grande Americano. Grande says he will beat original Grande Americano one more time and take the mask off his ugly mug and return it to the people of Mexico. This must have been during a commercial break, or I didn't see this. I don't give a damn about this. I told you guys last week how insulting this was. And I'm not that type of person. I like dark humor. I like edgy content. I want WWE to be more edgy. I'm tired of this PG-sponsored bullcrap that they're putting on. Again, the Attitude Era was so great because it wasn't PG. It was great. Ruthless Aggression was not PG. This PG crap is ridiculous. And WWE's still going to find out that they continuously keep losing viewership because casual fans don't want to see PG garbage when it comes to their wrestling. They don't. I don't give a damn about El Grande Americano. It's just truly insulting that these guys are on TV and yet WWE can't fix their tag team division by having more tag teams on TV because we got these two clowns on TV. And I'm not calling them clowns. I'm talking about the characters that they're portraying to be clowns. Ludwig Kaiser is talented. He's better than this. He's doing a good job, but I don't care about it. He's too talented to be doing this. And the same thing with Chad Gable. Chad Gable got hurt. His thing on TV was, I'm hurt, but I'm still acting like I'm not a Grande Americano. He comes back. We still have no mention of Chad Gable on television. Even though when he was on television before he got injured, he was pretending like he wasn't. They completely dropped that part of the storyline. Just ridiculous. Anyway, Becky Lynch's music then hits. She makes her way down to the ring. Lynch grabs a mic and starts talking about getting booed. Lynch says that she admits that the WWE Universe got sick of seeing her. Lynch says she took some time off to spend time with her family, who appreciate her those 10 months, whatever the case may be. Lynch then says she takes pride in being the one to make the Women's Intercontinental Championship matter the most. Lynch then says she tried to take a break with the people she loved, but noticed her daughter was skipping around the house singing AJ Lee's Light It Up theme song. Becky Lynch then says her daughter doesn't realize she's the greatest female wrestler. Lynch then promises to humble AJ Lee again. AJ Lee then makes her way down to the ring, and Becky Lynch retreats from the ring. She starts skipping up by basically the bellkeeper's area. She goes into the crowd. She starts skipping her way to the crowd. AJ Lee then grabs the mic and says every time the two stepped into the ring together, she wiped the floor with her. AJ then admits that Becky Lynch likes to play it dirty. AJ then lays down a challenge for another match, and this time it will take place at WrestleMania 42. Becky Lynch then says AJ Lee skipped right into her trap. Becky Lynch then says AJ Lee has no idea what she got herself into. She then calls WrestleMania her domain. Becky Lynch then vows to reclaim her Women's IC Championship and end AJ Lee at WrestleMania. Lynch then welcomes Lee to the big time. Here's my problem with this. And she also, by the way, Becky Lynch also said that she basically killed the Divas era and put a knife through the butterfly, whatever. I don't care about none of this. Now, you asking me, Brandon, why don't you care about this? Because I'm tired of seeing these two feud. AJ Lee has been back, and she's wrestled nothing but Becky Lynch. WrestlePalooza, Elimination Chamber, and then now WrestleMania, and then one match against Bayley. That's all we've gotten. Enough! Enough of this. I'm tired of it. Enough of these women wrestling. This is the third match they had. It's going on their fourth match. That means that Becky Lynch is going to win at WrestleMania. You should have never taken the title off of her in the first place. Chicago, I don't care if you live in Chicago. It's not AJ Lee's hometown. It's New Jersey. And they're having her go out there with CM Punk and celebrating her championship win as if they're both in front of their hometown crowd. Yeah, just because you live there, it's not your hometown. She's from Jersey. And they even announced it when she was in Chicago, Elimination Chamber. They announced it from New Jersey. You can't make this up. Anyway, again, I don't care about this match. I'm tired of this feud. It's the same thing with the MFTs on SmackDown. Well, that's 10 times worse with the MFTs and the Wyatt 6. But this feud right here, I don't care nothing about it. I told you guys, if you guys are new here, that at WrestleMania, before Elimination Chamber, when we got to the Royal Rumble, everybody knew that Liv Morgan was going to win the Royal Rumble. Fine, okay. After that, Becky Lynch keeps the IC title. Rhea Ripley wins Elimination Chamber. Rhea Ripley goes to face Jade Cargill because Bianca Belair is not here yet. She's not back yet. After that, we have Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Valkyria. Those are the 2 women's world title matches at WrestleMania. Then, if I was WWE, I would have said, you know what, the trading between brands are back open. What do you guys want to do? Rhea Ripley goes, she's a Raw superstar who won the Elimination Chamber, so she's going to SmackDown to challenge for the world title. So, if I'm WWE, I would have traded Rhea Ripley for Charlotte Flair. Had her be the babyface and have her face Becky Lynch for the IC title because it's a bigger match. Then I would have said Io Sky versus Julia for the United States Championship. And you could do something with Bliss or whatever the case may be. If you want to add her to that, then fine. Other than that, that would have been the best outcome. But no. We had to put the belt on AJ Lee. There was no need to do this. There was no need for this. She could have won the belt later. And the reason why she could win the belt later, because I knew this was going to happen. I knew that she was going to win this belt, and then all of a sudden, we're going to have to run this back for WrestleMania because they're not going to keep Becky Lynch off the card. Becky Lynch is going to take this belt off of AJ Lee. And if she doesn't, then that means Becky Lynch's run is basically over. Because if she loses again, what else is there for Becky Lynch to do besides go to SmackDown? What is there else for Becky Lynch to do on Monday Night Raw? They're not going to have her win the Women's World title again. She might as well just go over to SmackDown and be a heel and go face Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's Championship when she beats Jade Cargill at WrestleMania, because we all know it's going to happen. And if not, go win the Women's United States Championship to whoever has it now. But this is everything I thought before Elimination Chamber. Now that we're past it, and it basically Io Sky staying on Raw, even though I would have traded them to SmackDown and had her face Julia to elevate the Women's United States Championship. Now we're not getting that. Now we're probably going to get Tiffany Stratton with the Women's United States Championship, even though I don't know why they're doing this with Julia, but whatever. That's for Friday Night SmackDown. But for now, I don't care nothing about AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. It's no disrespect, but I just don't care at all. We've seen the match too many times already. After that, we then see the Usos and LA Knight walking in the back, and the Usos thank Knight. Well, Jimmy basically thanks him. Jalen says you gotta get got because there are consequences. He was still riled up, still being a hothead, as Roman Reigns would call him. Knight then says he's starting to sound like Roman. Jalen tells Knight he might have a problem if you keep talking like that. Which, I don't, by the way, Jay Uso being a hothead, I don't believe in this at all. I don't believe in none of this. This is why I'm telling you this is not being booked well. I don't believe his anger. I don't believe him. You come out yeeting, yeet, and then you come out yeeting, and then now you want to be mad all of a sudden. I don't believe it. I don't believe none of it. Jimmy then says, just like CM Punk is going to find out, mind your words when you talk about his family. And there was a picture of The Rock on the WWE production truck. It had The Rock with the raised eyebrow like this. So maybe it wasn't alluding to The Rock. Would they purposely put the camera there? We don't know yet. But am I believing Jey Uso when he's mad about this? No, I'm not. I don't believe this at all. It's unbelievable because he continuously keeps yeeting. If he stops yeeting and stop every time he cuts a promo, which I'll skip a little bit. Let me just go to this for really quickly before we get back. Jey Uso is cutting a promo, and the way he's cutting a promo, he keeps stopping as if the crowd's going to yeet. Just do your promo. Jey Uso, since he's been yeeting, has been cutting terrible promos. Let's keep it 100. He has been awful at his promos. Before he started yeeting and he was facing against Roman Reigns in a tribal combat match, and before he started yeeting and before he quit SmackDown and he went to Raw, he teamed up with Cody Rhodes to become Undisputed Tag Team, Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Champions. He was doing a fine job with his promos. Ever since Jey Uso started yeeting, his promos have been terrible. And I'm not hating. I like Jey Uso, and I like Jimmy even more. I think highly of Jimmy because I think Jimmy has more charisma than Jey Uso. Jimmy's the one that's very, very funny. And people just don't see that he's more funny. I think he deserves more of a shot in this company, and they just keep pushing him to the side, which I don't like. But anyway, I don't believe any of this between them. After that, we then see Javon Evans warming up backstage. He will face Grayson Waller next. This match, again, I told you guys I didn't really care for it. Evans hits the Hurricanrana from the top rope and follows it up with an OG cutter for the win. I knew Javon Evans was going to win. They were not going to have Grayson Waller beat Javon Evans. This is a good match between them. Javon Evans, again, he looks great. I don't know what they're doing in WrestleMania. They're probably going to have a multi-man match for the IC title, which we'll get to later on, and why that made me even more furious. But we're going to move on. Javon Evans won. I don't care. After the match, Kofi Kingston and Grayson will have some words. Who cares? We then see Adam Pearce outside the training room where Paul Heyman shows up. Paul says he wants a match for Madison Square Garden where the Usos defend the tag team titles against Logan Paul and Austin Theory in a street fight. Adam then says Paul has given him something to consider. Paul then yells for a minute and says, "What is it to consider?" He basically calms down. After that, he thanks Pearce. Pearson asks where is Paul Heyman going because he wants to go walk away. Pearson says Paul asked for time to address Seth Rollins, and now there's the time. Paul then says he is sick of it, and he tells Pearce okay. Pearce then says he is not going to miss Paul at all. We then see Byron Saxton in the interview area with the original Grande Americano. This must have been during commercial break. Byron tells the original Grande Americano what Grande said earlier. I can't believe it. I just can't believe this. Original Grande Americano says he will speak to the people in English. Original Grande Americano says last week the imposter disrespected everything he stands for and what he did in the match. Then he says this is why he did what he did during Grande ceremony. Original Grande Americano says this isn't enough room for both of them. Original Grande Americano says there's only one Original Grande Americano. Original Americano, this has gracias. Do you see, guys, I'm struggling to read this garbage. This is so bad, I'm struggling to read it. That's how bad this was. This is completely idiotic and stupid that they're continuously going with this. And Triple H, y'all think this is good. I'm blaming Triple H, I blame you. The reason why I blame you is because this is still on the television. Put this in AAA and leave us alone. Put this in AAA and leave us alone. This is stupid. After this stupid ass segment, Paul Heyman is now in the ring. Heyman starts off by saying he's having a really bad night. Heyman then says he is relegated to an appearance in Boston and the crowd is just booing him. Heyman then says there is no one left for him to hide behind. Heyman then admits Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker won't be back anytime soon. Heyman then says this leaves him without a member of the Vision having his back. Heyman then says he's the man who's been pushed too far. Heyman then says he feels WWE isn't big enough for the both of them. Heyman then says he wouldn't step inside the ring with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 42. Heyman then says he wants Seth Rollins to come down to the ring and put him out of his misery. Heyman then says maybe it is time right here and right now. So as he's talking and Masked Man appears, I catch Paul Heyman looking to the side to basically see, oh, you know that Seth Rollins is there. Seth Rollins comes out, he takes off the hoodie, takes off the mask. Enough of the mask. We know it's you, man. Enough. All the masked men weren't there tonight, which is a good thing. But he takes off the mask, then he takes off another mask, and then he shows his face. So after the masked man then appears to the ring, Heyman says sometimes a man has to do what a man has to do. The masked man then gets to an announce desk. Heyman then tells Seth Rollins, here's his moment, so let's do it. Heyman then says he is standing in Seth's ring. Seth then pulls the mask off in Boston. Police show up. This is awful again. I'm going to explain after. Boston police show up and tell Seth Rollins to get down off the announce desk. Heyman chuckles and Seth gestures with his hands up to Heyman like he got it. You basically, you got it, right? After that, Heyman then says his family are snitches and they file injunctions. Heyman then says Seth is going to jail. He is going to prison. Heyman then says because you are a felon, your wife will divorce you. Heyman then says she will get married to half of the locker room. Heyman then says he will adopt his daughter. Seth, but you can clearly see this is a setup. Seth goes to the crowd. He's going through the crowd, you can see my finger. He's going all the way through the crowd, basically to the back to the stage. He runs from the stage, back down the aisle, runs into the ring and pushes Paul Heyman over. And the cops run in the ring and basically put him in handcuffs. And Adam Pearce's dumbass, excuse my language, but I'm so sick of him. I'm so sick of Adam Pearce. It's not even funny. I am so sick of him yelling, that's enough. Like, dude, you're not Vince McMahon. Stop yelling every week. They continuously having this guy yell every single week. Enough. He yelled in the main event segment tonight. Spoiler alert. This is not good at all. Everything after the first Brock Lesnar Oba Femi standoff, this is not good at all. I'm being very truthful as I can be on here, that this is awful. So they get in the ring and put Seth Rollins in handcuffs. Heyman throws a mic at Seth Rollins. Seth knocks him down, as I said. The police officers then handcuff Seth Rollins, and they make his way through the crowd, and that's it for the night. Let me ask you guys a question. If you're a main guy on this show, are we only going to see you one time a night? Why is it that we only see guys once a night now? Why? I just don't get it. Your most over guys in the company are only seen once in a night. Why was it, and I forgot to mention this in the Paul Heyman segment with Adam Pearce. Paul Heyman says Brock Lesnar is so pissed off at Oba Femi that he left the building. That is lazy booking. I tell you guys, listen, for the past almost 3 weeks now, they haven't kicked anybody out of the building on Raw and SmackDown. So that's a good thing. But Brock Lesnar being pissed and leaving the building is another lazy way. It's basically kicking him out of the building without telling me he's being kicked out. You're basically saying, we don't have anything to write for Brock Lesnar. We don't have anything for him to say in the ring, not even backstage to cut a promo. We have nothing for him to say, so we're going to write him off television by saying that he was so angry that he left the show after what happened. Instead of him being backstage, destroying stuff, getting mad, getting in a car and leaving, or whatever the case may be, how you write it. Why is it that we only see Brock Lesnar once a night? Why is it we only see Roman Reigns one time in the past 5 weeks? And yes, I'm going to say last week I enjoyed the fact that he was in the beginning of the show, the middle of the show, the ending of the show. Why didn't they do that this week? Why do we only see CM Punk at the end of the Tonight Show when he's the World Heavyweight Champion and this is his show? If this is your show so damn badly, why are we only seeing you one time? This segment between Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman was terrible. The police take Seth Rollins up the ramp, he goes and he leaves, and then we don't see him again for the rest of the night. It was a whack-ass segment because Seth Rollins is not cleared yet, and he's beating up on Paul Heyman. And people online are saying that they're having ideas. I saw other people saying this online too, that he's going to bring all the masked men out, and if Bronson Reed gets cleared, one masked man is going to stay there. He's just going to spear Seth Rollins, and that's how we get the match. We are 26 days away from WrestleMania, and we still have 6 matches out of 14 matches. The booking has been terrible. The matches are going to look good on paper, no doubt about it. But the storytelling and the creative writing and the creative juices of this show is terrible. Where's Gunther at? I was going to say LA Knight. Where's Gunther? Where's Gunther? You guys let me know because we're waiting for Rey Mysterio to get cleared. Why on earth do we want to see Rey Mysterio versus Gunther at WrestleMania if he's not going to retire him? It makes no sense. This guy retired John Cena and he's nowhere near to be found. Where is he? You know why you can't find him? Because his company is so ass backwards that they don't know what they're doing. Ridiculous. Gunther's not in the show. What is LA Knight doing at WrestleMania? You guys tell me in the comments down below, what is LA Knight doing at WrestleMania? It's bad enough for SmackDown. We damn near got to get Sami Zayn on WrestleMania. I mean, I just can't believe this is the build that we get. This is the build that we get for being loyal and continuously watching this every single week. This WrestleMania season has been a cluster, you know what. The Kabuki Warriors make their way down to the ring. We get to the end of this match. Lyra hits Zayn with a Nightwing for the win. They continuously keep pinning Kairi Zayn. What's the point? You protecting Asuka, you continuously keep pinning Kairi Zayn. Are they supposed to be a great tag team or not? Can somebody else lose? Bayley lost last week. Why Lyra can't lose this week and let Kairi Zayn get the upper hand? I'll tell you why. And this is where the hypocrisy that I said earlier, this is where the hypocrisy and the booking comes from. I'm going to show you guys when we get there. You watch. So the winners of this match was Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. They faced off against the Kabuki Warriors. I didn't care nothing about this match. After the match, Jackie Redmond's in the ring and she congratulates Bayley and Lyra Valkyria on their win so close to WrestleMania. I'm not going to lie. When this promo came on, I muted it because I didn't want to hear a damn thing that these two women had to say. Bayley, I love Bayley. You guys know I think she's top 10 all time. I think she's one of the greatest of all time, and I think she's not getting her just due in this company right now. I know they have to push other women, but doesn't mean you have to push Bayley to the side and act like she's not one of the greatest of all time. So this company, the way that they're treating Bayley, I don't like it at all. I love Bayley. She just needs to change her theme music. And the way that they're treating her in a tag team match after they took off WrestleMania last year, and the fact that she can't get a WrestleMania moment after you took away her moment last year, this is ridiculous again. That she's back in the same spot that she was supposed to be in last year. An absolute insult to Bayley in her career. Who gives a damn about Lyra Valkyria? No disrespect. I don't care about Lyra Valkyria. Ever since she had that botch at SummerSlam, they have not given her a damn thing. Did she deserve it? No. Everybody makes mistakes, of course. But Lyra Valkyria, I don't care. I'm not interested in her character. Woo! 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 That's all we do. That's all we get. No disrespect. It's not personal. It's just about the television and the booking and the creative. We get Jackie Redmond in the ring. She congratulates Bayley and Lyra on their victory so close to WrestleMania. She didn't ask if there's any pressure to get to Vegas. Bayley then says they don't feel pressure. Lyra then says last year to Nia Jax that you know They're the ones who can beat them. Bayley then tells Nia and Lash if they are as big as bad as they say they are, they will be at Madison Square Garden. I didn't care nothing about this promo. Again, I don't want to see Bayley and Lyra Valkyria team up. I told you guys it should be Last Legend Irresistible versus Last Legend and Nia Jax versus the Bella Twins versus the Kabuki Warriors versus Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez at the Judgment Day, because they've been pushing Raquel Rodriguez a lot. Just for her now not to be at WrestleMania? Is this what we get? Because we all know that it's going to be Last Legend, Nia Jax versus the Bella Twins versus Bliss and Charlotte Flair versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. So what happens to Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez? You've been pushing Judgment Day for the past couple years on television. They're on television every single week, and they don't get to be on WrestleMania. But instead, we get Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, who are not even a tag team. What are we doing? At least Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez on the Judgment Day together, and they were teaming up when Liv Morgan was out. What are we doing? The laziness in the booking continues. We didn't take a look back at Tiffany Stratton and her NXT origin. I don't know why we did this. This was not meant for Raw. This should have been on SmackDown. We then see Penta with I Show Speed. He wants Penta to show him how to do the Penta walk. Dragon Lee shows up and speaks in Spanish. It looks like the two are facing one another down the road. I don't give a damn about this. I told you guys, Penta should have never won his championship. He should have won the championship down the road. They should have remained on Dominik Mysterio, because it gives that story much more juice. It gives Dominik versus Finn Balor at WrestleMania more of a story, because not only did you kick me out of the Judgment Day, but now I take your IC title after you kicked me out of the group. That after we kicked Edge out, it was Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley, and Damian Priest. So he's not the original, but he's in the second lineup of this group, and you kicked him out. So he should take the IC title from Dominik Mysterio. But this company doesn't do that. Why? Because they just don't know good storytelling when they see it. Byron Saxton is now in an interview with Javon Evans. This must have been during a commercial break. Byron then congratulates him on his win. Evans says he feels great. Byron then asks Evans about Kofi and others that Kofi has, the offers, that Kofi has made to him. Evans says Kofi is an OG. Evans says that he's a former world champion. Evans says he doesn't want to be the next Kofi Kingston or his young boy. Evans says he wants to be the first Javon Evans. Evans says he wants to accomplish some dreams and goals. Evans says he is going to be watching the IC title match, and his eyes is on Penta tonight. Let me just comment on that. I respect Javon Evans, the young OG that they call him. I do not want to see a multi-man match for the IC title at WrestleMania, and this is why. It should be Dominik Mysterio versus Finn Balor for the IC title, because now you're going to put all these people on WrestleMania who simply don't deserve to be on WrestleMania, and now the IC title has no storyline. You're just going to get good matches. The same thing with Carmelo Hayes and his open challenge. You're just going to get good matches. That's it. I'm tired of seeing Penta do the same stuff every single week. And you guys know, I think the Lucha Brothers are one of the greatest tag teams ever, especially coming out of AEW when they faced the Young Bucks and they had great matches. I don't want to see Penta continuously keep defending the IC title against a bunch of random nobodies, and then after that, they get to WrestleMania and they have a multi-man match. What are you doing with Rey Fenix? You're not even doing... I just can't. This company is just so damn dumb. We then see Adam Pearce. He's with I Show Speed. Danhausen then shows up, and he wonders how I Show Speed has 180 followers. I Show Speed says 180 million followers. He says Danhausen did ask Speed for his pass hurt so they could split the profits. Speed then says no. Danhausen then curses I Show Speed. I don't give a damn about none of this. Again, I don't comment on Danhausen. If he's a character for the company and he's the next new joking guy, that's fine. Do I care to see it? It doesn't really bother me, but I don't care nothing about this backstage segment, that's for sure. We then take a look back at what happened with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes on SmackDown. And by the way, it was also announced that we're going to hear Cody Rhodes' comments for the first time since his attack on Pat McAfee's show. This company cannot be serious right now. This company is the dumbest company we're watching on television today. Why would you not save this for SmackDown and advertise Cody Rhodes being on SmackDown to drive viewership to actually see what he has to say? Why are you putting this on Pat McAfee? Why? Oh, to get recognition at WrestleMania? Then put Randy Orton on Pat McAfee. Why is Cody Rhodes, the one who got his ass kicked, who's supposed to be selling the attack, going on Pat McAfee? Why? That makes no sense. The first time we see you after an attack is on a ESPN sports show? See, you know what makes me so angry? And I'm going to do a video about this one day. WWE thinks that ESPN gives a damn about them. I'm here to tell you guys right now, ESPN doesn't give a damn about WWE. No matter how much money they pay them, they don't care about wrestling. The people who work for the company don't watch wrestling. Stephen A. Smith and all these guys, no disrespect to Stephen A., they don't watch wrestling. So anytime that these guys are on First Take, they're on Get Up, except for Pat McAfee's show, they're on Sports Center, they don't watch wrestling. Wrestling is not respected by ESPN. But yet you get these guys on these shows, except for Pat McAfee, shout out Pat McAfee, they don't care about professional wrestling. This is a waste of time. This should be saved for SmackDown. If you're going to have somebody on Pat McAfee's show continuously delivering on this, it should be Randy Orton. He's the heel. He can go in character and disrespect Cody Rhodes and do everything that he can do. Why are you having Cody Rhodes show up on Pat McAfee on a Wednesday? On a random Wednesday? Since we haven't heard from him. This is not good marketing. This is not good strategy at all. Because we're going to get a politician in Cody Rhodes who's going to sit there and say, I can't believe it, and blah, 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 blah. Unless Randy Orton shows up and beats him up again, I don't want to see none of it. So damn stupid. We then see Asuka telling Kairi saying that the loss is on her fault. Asuka then says if Kairi cares about the team, she needs to make it up to her. Asuka then yells at Kairi and walks away. Io Sky then pops up. This is another hypocrisy that we're going to get into. Io Sky then steps to tell Sane that they had their ups and downs, but Kairi does not deserve to be treated like that. Asuka then screams for Kairi. Kairi walks away. Io Sky then turns around and she sees Raquel Rodriguez, and she says that Io is pathetic since Rhea Ripley dumped her. She doesn't care about her, and Zayn wouldn't. Raquel then complains about Io Sky helping Stephanie Valkyria. Io says she will continuously interfere again. She continuously points at her head. I don't care nothing about this. After says she will continuously interfere again. She does her ears when she's pointing her ears, going she doesn't do the actual noise, but she says she'll do it again and does the point. Who gives a damn? After that, Raquel Rodriguez then challenges Io to meet her in the ring next week, as if we don't have enough problems of our own. We got to get this match right here. Anyway, Stephanie then attacks Liv from behind. I'll get to the hypocrisy in a minute. From behind, while she accompanies Dominik Mysterio to the ring, Liv then sends Stephanie into the LED screen. They fight in a gorilla position, and Liv then lets out screams, and she's basically screaming, which I don't know why she's screaming. I have no idea why she's screaming. I have no idea why she's screaming backstage. She just fight. Just fight. If you're so great, fight. What are you screaming for? That was terrible too. And let's go back to the Io Sky and Kairi Sane. Io Sky says to Kairi Sane, you shouldn't be treated like this. May I ask you guys a question? Please put it in the comment section down below. Io Sky won the tag team titles from the Kabuki Warriors. She has seen this woman get treated like this entire time. Now you want to say something. Do you guys know what this is leading to? This is leading to Io Sky versus Asuka at WrestleMania. Do I want to see the actual match? Yeah, sure, fine. Do I care about this story? No. Well, Brandon, you want a story? Here's why. Why does she care about her now? When you were pinning her and beating her for the tag team titles, why didn't you care about her then? When you were with Rhea Ripley. But now that you're by herself, now she can't take this punishment. Now she doesn't deserve to be treated like this. She's been being treated like this for the past couple of months. You've said nothing. You won the tag team titles. You said nothing. You see how inconsistent the booking is? How inconsistent this is? Why is she worried about her now? Why is she worried about this girl right now? When she literally has been doing this for months. And Io Sky didn't care. When she was winning the tag team titles, did she care? No. This makes no sense. But because they don't have a match, this is the road that we go down. Yes, I'm criticizing everything tonight. Dominik Mysterio makes his way down to the ring for the main event with JD McDonough and Penta follows. JD McDonough distracts Penta. We're going to get to the end of it. JD McDonough distracts Penta. Penta, he's going for the 6-1 out. He hits the 6-1 out on Penta. He gets to the top rope. Out comes Finn Balor and completely ruins this whole entire thing. Why would you have Finn Balor come out here? Finn Balor lays a beatdown on McDonough outside. After that, Dominik Mysterio then goes for frog splash, but Penta rolls him up for the win. Penta retains the IC title. So we have Penta with the IC title going into WrestleMania with no storyline at all and a bunch of randoms probably in the IC title match, which is dumb as hell. The winner of the match is Penta, and then after the match, Finn Balor gets to the ring. He keeps Dominik Mysterio from escaping. Finn then punches Dominik. He hits a sling bladed running drop kick. Then Finn goes up top, but JD returns to the ring and pulls Dominik out of the ring. Finn then hits a flip dive into Dominik and JD. Finn then sends Dominik back into the ring, and JD grabs Finn. After that, Finn then hits a GTR on, and Dominik goes into the crowd to escape. Finn then drop kicks JD into the turnbuckles. Finn goes up and gets up there with the coup de grace, or coup de grace, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, the crowd didn't care nothing about this. The crowd didn't cheer for this. The crowd was silent mostly for this entire segment. It was a little applause. You know why they didn't care? Because he came back too early. They should have had Dominik Mysterio win back the IC title and then have Finn Balor tease the demon, not tease it to obviously make it obvious, but do something better than this. You have Finn Balor coming out there smiling. For what? He should not be smiling. Basically, I'm going to get you. I'm not done with Dirty Dom. That's what on WWE's X page. Finn Balor is not done with Dirty Dom. Are you serious right now? Dominik Mysterio should have won, got the IC title back, and lose it at WrestleMania against Finn Balor. We do not need Penta to be IC champion right now. What we need from Penta is to honestly go to SmackDown and be with his brother Rey Fenix. And give a damn about this segment. Why, Brandon? Why didn't you care about this story? Because they've rushed it. Dominik Mysterio should be IC champion. I keep repeating myself. But there's more story with the IC title being in this feud than there is with it being on Penta. You have to understand that. Rey Fenix and Penta are meant to be in a tag team and meant to be with each other on SmackDown, chasing those tag team titles. They need to do something with that division, and they're not doing it. And it's costing the company when they're not looking at their tag team divisions. What's the point of having a tag team division if you're not going to go over the top for it? You did it for the women, why not do it for the men? Instead, we have R-Truth, no disrespect to R-Truth, and Damian Priest as tag team champions. Instead of it being the Lucha Brothers going into WrestleMania, having one of the greatest WrestleMania matches that you could imagine. Penta doesn't need the IC title. Finn Balor and Dominik Mysterio need it more. And you ruined it by having Finn Balor come out there and just smile. Why? You could have did something so much better. It is announced next week that Brock Lesnar will be on Raw. Lash Legend Nia Jax will defend their women's tag team titles against Lyra and Bayley. Newsflash, they're not going to win. That match is going to be won by Lash Legend Nia Jax, maybe due to some outside interference, as I guessed it correctly on my SmackDown review last week. Io Sky will face Raquel Rodriguez, which we should not care about, and also there Logan Paul will challenge the Usos for the Royal Tag Team titles in a street fight, which is another match that I don't give a damn about. After that, we didn't see CM Punk walk to the gorilla position. He sees Jimmy Uso. Jimmy says he won't tell him what to do, but he warns him that his brother is on a warpath. CM Punk basically is laughing at him, and his music hits. CM Punk makes his way down to the ring. Now, before we really get into this entire segment, CM Punk and Roman Reigns, at this particular point, once I get through this segment, and basically the review is over after this, I'm done with this feud. I'm done. They've completely ruined it, and I'm going to tell you why when we get into it. CM Punk comes out, his music hits, he makes his way down to the ring. Punk then plays to the crowd before he grabs a mic. Punk starts off by asking the universe if they heard what Jimmy Uso told him moments ago. Punk then says he wonders if he should watch what he says tonight. Punk then says nobody in the Bloodline family could do anything by themselves. Punk then says they always need help. Punk then says nobody in the Bloodline family can be the WWE World Champion. Punk then says it is his job to sell the big title match. Punk then admits he's tired of talking. Punk then says Roman Reigns pissed him off last week by calling him old. And this is another hypocrisy moment where it comes from. Punk then says Roman Reigns doesn't get to disrespect him and call him old. Punk then asks Boston if he's old. Boston is basically telling him no. Some people are saying no. Some people interrupts and yes chants. Punk then says he will be lying if he said he wasn't old. Punk then says he isn't ashamed of being old. So if you're ashamed, this is what I said to myself, and when I was watching this show, and Punk said he's not ashamed of being old, I literally yelled at the TV that why the F did you punch him in his face last week? Why? If you didn't care about being old, why did you punch him in the face? This totally contradicts everything that he said in this promo. You said in this promo, quote, I am not ashamed of being old. Punk then says the older he gets, the better he gets. So if you're getting better while you're getting older, by the way, CM Punk's like 45, Roman's 40. He's 5 years older than him. And he's calling him old because he's always gassed and out of breath. That's just due to the lack of live events and the lack of wrestling from these wrestlers. And plus, yes, Roman Reigns being 5 years younger than him and less damage on his body, because we all know CM Punk has been wrestling since the early 2000s. We all know this. But saying that you don't care about being called old, Why did you punch Roman Reigns? Why did you punch him in the face if you, getting old is being better and blah, blah, blah. It totally contradicts why you punched him in the face last week. This makes no sense. And then people online are eating this up as if this was good. This was terrible. And it gets even worse. Follow along. After he says he gets better as he gets older, Punk then says age is just a number. Again, another hypocrisy. Punk then says he is old, but he is not insecure. If you were not insecure, why did you punch Roman Reigns in the face? This makes no sense. And I'm moving my hands because I'm getting animated and I'm getting mad. After that, Punk then says he feels great and he calls himself the best in the world. Punk then says Roman Reigns has already lost because he underestimated him. Punk then promises to teach Roman Reigns a lesson at WrestleMania 42. And by the way, CM Punk is trying to play to the crowd and talk about baseball, and I guess he's talking about players that play for the I don't know if he's talking people for Red Sox. I don't know what he was talking about, but he was trying to get a pop, and it went silent. He got no pop because nobody cared about that. Trying to plug the city. I don't know what he was trying to do with the baseball players that he named, but nobody gave a damn. Jey Uso's music hits. He makes his way down to the ring to confront CM Punk. Punk didn't ask Jey if he wants to talk or throw hands. Jey says, "Let me get in the ring." Jey Uso says he doesn't like Punk run his mouth about his family. I told you guys earlier in the show, this is not believable for me. Jey Uso being this mad is totally unbelievable. Why? Because he is a hothead. And him being this much of a hothead is just embarrassing the bloodline. It's embarrassing the bloodline. This is not the same bloodline it was a couple years ago. This is just embarrassing the storyline, quite frankly. Jey Uso being this much of a hothead looks dumb. It doesn't look believable. He's trying too hard to defend the family. He's trying way too hard. Roman Reigns just calm and collected, and he's being a hothead again. And that's why Roman Reigns called him the hothead. This is just idiotic. I'm going to tell you guys why. So he says, you want to talk to hands? He says, you keep running his mouth about his family. Just forcing it. It's forced anger. It's not genuine. It's forced. You want me to suspend my disbelief? Make it look genuine. This looks forced. Punk then asks Jey if he wants a rematch for the World Heavyweight Championship. Jimmy then makes his way down to the ring, wondering what Jey Uso is doing out here. Jimmy says he wants Jey to leave CM Punk to Roman Reigns, the OTC. After that, Jey Uso then wonders where Roman Reigns is. Roman Reigns' music then hits. He makes his way down to the ring. After that, Roman Reigns looks at Jimmy and Jey, and he looks at Punk. Punk then puts his hands behind his back in case Roman wants to get in the first shot. Roman then says, the last time he checked you already had a tag team match. Jimmy says, that's right. Roman then says, it is done now. Jimmy then says, that's right. Roman then says, he's respectfully as he can. Roman then says, get your brother and leave this ring. I'm glad Roman Reigns did this. Punk then tells them to stay because Roman needs the help. That was also a good line by CM Punk. Jey then goes after Punk and Punk punches him in the face. Jimmy then grabs Punk and Roman hits a Superman punch. Jey then tells Roman he knows what to do outside of the ring. He's yelling at him. Roman then spears CM Punk. Jey then tells Roman to get him, and Roman kicks Punk to the floor. Roman then sends Punk into the ring post a few times. Roman then sets up a powerbomb through the table, and he does it. Roman then punches Punk, and he walks away, but he doesn't leave the ringside area. Punk then laughs and says he isn't the one who needs help. He's basically laughing. Ha. He's laughing the entire time. Who needs help? Roman has completely lost it. Roman then rains down right hands on CM Punk and punch him in the head. Roman then walks off as the show comes to a close. The crowd is chanting one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, the promo between CM Punk and the Usos was not good at all. It was an awkward interaction until Roman Reigns got out there. By the way, when Roman Reigns got out there, guess what time it was, ladies and gentlemen? It was 10:52 Eastern. This show goes off at 11. It was 10:52 p.m. Eastern time when Roman Reigns walked out. After he walked out, they finally did this within a span of 9 minutes, and the show went off. I'm sorry, not at 10:52, I'm bugging out. At 10:22. I'm sorry I got that wrong, I apologize. At 10:22, the show goes off at 10:30. So 8 minutes of Roman Reigns and CM Punk and him beating him up. I did not enjoy this segment at all. Did I like Roman Reigns getting his revenge for him punching him in the face? Yes. But CM Punk just basically laughed it off. This was not a good promo exchange between Jey Uso and CM Punk. Jey Uso, again, was forcing it. Jimmy Uso was the only one that I said I could respect it, but they continuously don't give him nothing, so I don't care either. I do not care about CM Punk versus Roman Reigns going into WrestleMania now. They completely ruined this since last week when he called him old and punched him in the face, and now he contradicts himself. This show is a D+ tonight. It was bad and it was awful. Another horrible 2.5 hour show. The first 15 minutes were decent. After that, this show is absolutely terrible. WrestleMania on paper is looking good, but storyline wise, I don't give a damn about it. The lack of build for WrestleMania completely undersells WrestleMania. And I blame Triple H, and I blame TKO. Again, the 6 matches is CM Punk and Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight title, Stephanie Valkyria versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton for the Undisputed WWE Championship, Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's Championship, Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar, and a singles match, and you have AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch, a singles match for the WWE Women's IC Championship. Again, out of all of 6 of these matches, I'm only interested in 2. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, and Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar. Other than that, I don't give a damn about the rest of the card. This CM Punk and Roman Reigns feud at the end of this show, because they continuously keep doing this at the end, this was not good either. Roman Reigns got his revenge. Cool. Okay, fine. Whatever. Other than that, I don't care. They completely ruined it. And if Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes' storyline continuously keeps growing and growing and growing, I would seriously consider putting that main event to be night 2. But we all know they're not going to do it because CM Punk is finally going to get his night 2 main event, which he deserves. But right now, this is not the hottest feud going into WrestleMania. It was, but Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton has surpassed that. Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar is getting the loudest pops on the show. It looks like they're going to surpass it depending on what they do with Brock Lesnar. CM Punk vs. Roman Reigns is going to main event night 2. It better be a great match. Because this segment that we had, I didn't care for it at all. The only thing I liked was Roman Reigns beating him at the end, but he laughed at him. So what was the point of the beatdown? Somebody's just going to continue to sit there and just laugh at you. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for watching this review. This show again was a D+. It was absolutely terrible. I did not enjoy this show at all. It was basically hard to get through, but I do it because I love doing my videos and I love giving you guys my opinions about wrestling. So please, let me know in the comment section down below how you guys felt about Monday Night Raw tonight. Be honest. Make sure you comment. I will reply to your comments. Please put it down in the description box how you guys felt about the show. Do you guys agree with me that the show was a D+, or you guys disagree with me and you guys actually like the show? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and watch the videos all the way through so we help the channel continue to grow. Until next time, guys, see you real soon.